with other young people who could not make it for one reason or the other, or who may come after the stage. I'm going to call on my first daughter and the first sibling of the authors, 13-year-old Atoya Kambi, an entrepreneur, best-selling author of 3 books, and she also has a planner and a magazine for young people. Atoya, over to you. She's 17 years old.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Atoya Kambi, and as I said before, I'm 17 years old, and I'm also the oldest sibling of Caleb and Destiny. I would like to welcome you all to the Creative Genius Conference of 2024, and also I would like to welcome the Lord Mayor of Liverpool and the High Sheriff of Merseyside. It's a pleasure to have you all seated here before me today. Moving on, I am the author of 3 books, short stories by Miss Very Happy, which I had written when I was 7 years old and published when I was 10, Casey's Diary, and Casey's Diary of Anderson Adventure, which is a series of chapter books. Well, there's 2 books in the series, but it's a series of chapter books based off of my very first book. I'm also the editor of Thrive Magazine, which my mom had briefly explained before. It's a magazine to put the spotlight on a lot of young creators, authors, writers, singers, etc., to portray good things and to inspire other young people. And I also am the CEO and founder of Tazai Skincare and Cosmetics, which is a 100% organic cold pressed skincare, cosmetics and hair care brand. I also have my own store in Picton Road, which is in Wavertree, not too far from town, and I work there from time to time. So my journey for writing started when I was 7 years old, when I found my love and my passion for reading and writing, as English was my favorite subject. I've never really been a maths girl, and now that I'm doing my A-levels, I'm really happy that I can say it. I have the choice to not pick maths again. But when I was 7, I had written this book, and this was not long after my mom had published her own first book. And at the time, I remember going up to my mom and I was asking her if I could also have my book published. And I showed her my book, and we worked on it over time. It did take a long while because I didn't write it when I was 7. As I said, it got published when I was 10, so it took 3 years in the process. And that book was a series of moral short stories for young children, and it includes a lot of moral messages as to be kind to your friends, always tell the truth and be honest and things like that. And one of my favorite characters in that book was a girl called Casey, who's a really confident and bubbly character. She was a really bright and courageous young girl. So I decided to make a series about her called Casey's Diary. And in this series, Casey transitioned from primary school to middle school, and she developed low self-esteem issues, and she struggled a lot with her confidence inside of school and outside of school as well. It affected her a lot, and it caused her to even betray her true friends for a group at school who didn't really like her, who she was. And at the time, I wrote a story. I wrote that book because a lot of other young children can relate to things like that, especially because we are face to face with a lot of bullying, self-esteem issues. And I had written these about other people's personal experiences so that people could read my books and not only feel relatable to them, but also feel inspired to learn, because Casey had to learn how to accept herself for who she is, accept her uniqueness, and this is a key message in one of my books, which is confidence and also acceptance. And also throughout that book, Casey did have some friends who, as I mentioned before, she did betray, and she did have to go and apologize to those friends. And at first, they didn't accept her apology because they were really hurt. However, Casey had a spirit of consistency, and she was persistent with her apology. This message that I stress here is the message of consistency. One person who I like to refer to a lot when I'm talking about consistency and being persistent is J.K. Rowling. I know that many of you have read Harry Potter. Oh, thank you. I know that many of you have read Harry Potter and you know about the series. Well, the author was actually rejected multiple times. However, she kept on going, and I always say that if she never kept on going and if she didn't have that spirit of persistency, then you would not know about any of his series to this day. So the first book that I was talking about is Short Stories by Latoya Kambi. I have here with me. And then the other two are Casey's Diary. I also have a planner. I'm the creator of the New Year Better Me planner. And this planner is the ultimate self-development and goal planner, which I published not long ago to help inspire other young children, not even young children, a lot of young people in general, to achieve their goals and, reset for the year. And at the time when it was time for me to create this planner, I realized that I was watching a lot of YouTube videos at the time, because I had gotten into goal planning, and I was watching a lot of videos about the yearly reset. So it was 2022 coming into 2023, and I was seeing all of these bunch of videos like, oh, how to reset for the new year better me, new year, new me, which is such a cliche phrase that I'm sure everybody has heard every single year. So I decided to create this planner, and on the front, as you can see, it has new year, new me, but the new is crossed out and it says better me, because I figured I'd like to make this to help people to goal plan precisely, but to know that you don't have to be a new you. Of course, along the way, we need to create new habits to, become a new and better person, but we don't have to transform completely and change who you are. And then moving on to Thrive Magazine. So Thrive Magazine I founded not too long ago with the help of my mom, and that magazine I've worked on contacting young authors, young writers in Africa, America, the UK, and other young creatives in general to help inspire other young people just like you all today. Other bright children who have messages and interesting stories to share with children, share with the world. And I really believe that other children, when children are here like that, is really important, because it gives, not only does it give them the platform to share their stories, share what they've been through, but it also gives young children like you who are sat here today the opportunity to know that you are also capable of achieving everything else that these young people have achieved, and that you're no different from them. So currently I'm working on my second release, the second issue of this magazine, and I have contacted some amazing young creators. I'm also really thrilled to have said that I've had the opportunity to interview one of the youngest photographers in the world as well, and he's from America. He's